heading into the SEC championships. You want to take us through what your game plan is for this weekend?
Well, all hands are on board. We're going to load it with all 30 people. It's a situation where we're going to start out with a little bit of a deficit because Devin Clark, we're going to have to medically redshirt her because of a stress reaction. So that's a big ding in our team total. But it's across the board. Whoever can score over 100, I think, is assured of winning. And we have that capability, but so does Texas A&M and so does LSU. So, we're going to have to make sure we minimize our mistakes and capitalize on every scoring opportunity.
Well, when did you find out about Devin?
It's been now about 3 weeks.
Okay.
We just wanted to make sure that we were careful with her. She has a very, very bright future, and she can score big time for us at the conference and the national meets when she's healthy. And so we wanted to make sure we were careful about that.
So she's out for nationals and everything?
Yeah, she'll be out for this year. Yeah, so we'll even her up. She'll have an indoor and an outdoor season her 5th year.
So she can redshirt?
Yeah.
Outdoor.
Yeah.
What would she have run if she was healthy?
Steeple. She would be the favorite to win, and she could come back in the 5 and be a scorer as well. So, she's a double threat, and now we have to rely on 4 freshmen to fill that void. They've been very, very competitive all season, and hopefully they won't change their mind when we get to the conference meet.
So I guess Taylor, who else?
Taylor, Abby Gray, Maddie Reed, and Sydney Brown. I always call her freshman because more attitude than chronological. She's actually a sophomore.
So what all will they run?
They'll all run the 5.
Okay.
Yeah, fresh and ready to roll.
So nobody in the steeple?
No, in the steeple we'll have Reagan Ward and we'll have Rachel Neischwitz, another Reagan's a junior and Rachel's a freshman. So we're heavily laden on freshmen in the distances. And then in the 1500 we'll have the 2. We actually have 3 aces now in regards to Nikki Hiltz, and we'll go Nikki Hiltz, Karina Villon, and then Teresa Heiss. Teresa's the lone senior. The 1500 is the best race maybe in the meet. We have 5 of the top 1500-meter runners in the U.S., so it's going to be very competitive. But when you look across the board in the SEC, every event is loaded. It's there used to be weaknesses, not anymore.
Can you touch on the pole vault? And you're saying the SEC is competitive in every event.
Well, the pole vault, again, we have the defending indoor national champion from Alabama. We have an All-American from Kentucky, and then we have our big 3. And then there's been people that are threatening to score at the national meet from Vanderbilt and so on. So, it's just one of those things that if anybody has an off day for one reason or another, they're vulnerable of winning, but at the same time they could be 7th or 8th. So it's there's no gimmies in this meet anymore.
How much head-to-head do you have with A&M and LSU?
We'll see A&M and LSU to a degree in the middle distances. Both have very, very fine 800-meter runners. The distances, that's their weakness. Their sprints are very much their strength, and hopefully they'll cut each other up a little bit. And then you add Florida to that opportunity, as well as Kentucky, that can also break up that type of momentum. And we'll be spending a lot of time cheering for Florida and Kentucky.
Anybody who can kind of, because I guess you have little in the throws, anybody will help you out there?
No, the throws, we're probably going to be a blank. Our multi-eventers are basically our throwers, and they're going to be busy taking care of the multi to start out the meet with. They're the leadoff, and then it's a matter of them filling up maybe their primary event, Talia in the long jump, Peyton in the hurdles, etc.
So you got like 4 in the multis?
Yes.
So that'll be a big event.
It's a huge event for us. Huge event. Now, the 3-time national champion is in front of us, and she's one of those that is very consistent, Kendall Williams. But our girls, if we can stack right behind her, that would be very much to our advantage.
So you go for your 10th straight SEC cross-country indoor-outdoor? Whatever.
Correct. Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
We're working on double digits. I mean, that's hard to come by. I mean, the most that's ever been done is 3. That was by us. So each one of these has been a rewriting history, and the 10th one is going to be, as of now, is going to be the toughest.
And you going for your 4th straight Triple Crown? Is that right? Or third?
There'll be a third. Yeah.
So it'll be like a triple.
A triple.
If you could do it.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, again, anytime you can set that type of precedent in this type of a conference, they do a power ranking on conferences. We double the next closest, which I think is the Pac-12. And if you take number 2 and number 3 conferences and add them together, the SEC is still dominant. So anytime you can win an SEC title, those are cherished moments, and they're few and far between. We're on a roll right now. Hopefully we can keep the roll going.
You mentioned the roles of these athletes. I mean, just how critical is it to get points no matter what they are in each event you're in?
Well, that's what our coaching staff is going to definitely stress in our first team meeting is that, hey, our veterans, continue to do what you've been doing. The youth of tomorrow, we got to follow that example and grab every opportunity we possibly can. If we have some people coming in that are just going to float through the actions and enjoy the meal money, we're not going to be real happy with them. So it's a matter of a total team effort.
Dana Harper, she, indoor champion, trying to go for the sweep. I know you guys had some pretty good, obviously Taylor was pretty good,
yeah.
And Regina, but where do you think, and I know she's more of a development maybe, but where do you think she fits in with the quarter,
Well, I mean, she's run 51 seconds in the quarter, which puts you in prestigious territory as far as they're few and far between. She can run faster, but I think she's the epitome of what our program is all about, is taking those athletes, and I use the analogy of putting them on an escalator. They got to get on and they got to stay on, and that's injury-free, health-free, and you'll rise if you stay on it to another level. And she's done that repetitively. So we're climbing the stories as we go, and she's reaping the benefits this year as a senior.
Chris was saying she wasn't very heavily recruited. She was recruited by like Stephen F. and Sam Houston. Not other. Well, did she surprised you with?
She was a 54, 55 second quarter miler, and those are becoming more available. But she had great size, and she had a good competitive spirit, and she wanted to be better. And I think that chemistry between her and Chris has really shown the results.
When you say the size, you mean her stride?
Yeah, she's a tall girl, and she's a very powerful runner, and so I think that she has a future beyond just the college ranks.
I know she's got the top time this season outdoors, and she's the indoor. Is she the favorite in your mind? Or?
Yeah, very much so, and I hope that she believes that as well and runs accordingly. You've earned that right to put yourself in a favorites role. Now just replicate what you've done, and usually that takes care of what you need to do.
And she's running 2 relays too. How do you
She'll run the 4x1 and the 4x4.
How she'll handle
Very manageable. She's one of those that has done it all season, and I think that there's nothing out of the extraordinary.